Fly Fishing Insider Podcast is teamed up with Fly Fish Finder app to revolutionize your fishing adventures. Save time and unlock the ultimate experience with access to 55,000 trout streams, precise bridge data, thousands of trails, and detailed species locations. Elevate your angling with real-time maps, top camping spots, and connect with local fly shops for expert tips. This is only a little bit of what is available on the app. Discover all of it on the Fly Fish Finder app, another tool for getting better at catching fish anytime, anywhere, and for any species. Hey guys, welcome back to the Fly Fishing Insider Podcast. I'm your host, Christian, and we've got Nick Hall back on the line. Nick, you were on a few months ago, and we talked about your specialty in carp, but then we talked about the big subject of Carp Slam. You're out of Denver, and there's a Carp Slam there. You have Carp Slam. What is it? What's the website?
18 coming up. Yeah, carpslam.org.
Yeah, carpslam.org.
Carp Slam. Yep, Carp Slam number 18.
Yeah, so a big one coming up. So let's do this. We're going to recap what happened at the last Carp Slam because you were just getting ready to take off for it. And then we're going to talk about the upcoming one. But before we do all that, we want to cover TU in Denver.
Yeah.
And what the conservation's going on, et cetera, and how that kind of probably affected your mental, et cetera, around Carp Slam and really going hardcore on that and how that's played into it probably. So yeah. I'm making some assumptions, but let's talk about TU in Denver and go from there.
Yeah, so I'm the president of the Denver chapter of Trout Unlimited, so we call ourselves DTU. And we're really focused in conservation and community engagement, youth engagement efforts along the South Platte. We call it Denver's stretch of the South Platte River. It runs from Chatfield Reservoir in the south of Denver and Littleton, and then we go up to 120th Avenue in the city. So we have a pretty large swath of area to cover, and we're kind of unique when you look at us from a Trout Unlimited perspective. Typically, Trout Unlimited chapters are focused in cold water trout fishery conservation. We are different because we are in an urban environment with a bunch of industrial, companies and polluters that kind of line the banks of the river. The history of the South Platte has lent itself as an industrial waste river. But we're trying to change that and make it a place to recreate. So we've got about, I think, 1,600 members in Denver Trout Unlimited, and then we've got our board and officers. We have 16 folks there, so we've got a good group of people to select from to try to do some things. And our big focus is river conservation, river cleanup, protecting the river. We do a lot of youth engagement with the Trout in the Classroom program here. So we deliver trout eggs to 9 educational facilities throughout Denver. They raise the fish, and then yesterday or 2 days ago, we actually had a release where we released 130 rainbow trout into Clear Creek. So it's pretty cool. Partner with like middle school and high school students doing that.
Yeah.
And then recently we had an event called the South Platte Symposium, where it's like a panel of carp anglers and just fly fishing anglers in Denver that just hosted a panel discussion at a brewery here in Denver, so people could learn about the fishing opportunities that they have right in their back door.
That's very cool.
And yeah, we're trying to do things a little bit different and hit a different community. So we partner with several other nonprofits in the city, like Community Fly Fishing, to host like some on the water days, like on the water instructional days, where we teach people how to fish in the city. And we've had fly tying nights with them in Orvis, and a big calendar year planned for us. And as we get into Carp Slam 18, we're getting excited.
Tell me a little bit more about the Trout in the Classroom thing. Because you said, we release trout, and some people think, oh my God, what are they doing? But you're working with the state on that, I would assume.
Yeah.
Right?
So we work with Colorado Parks and Wildlife, and there's a Colorado Trout Unlimited is the Trout Unlimited Council that manages the state of Colorado and the chapters of Trout Unlimited here in Colorado. And so they partnered with CTU. CTU has partnered with Colorado Parks and Wildlife, called CPW. And we have a hatchery out in like the Basalt area where we pick up the eggs. Right, they're approved. They're raised by the state. We pick them up, deliver them to the classrooms. Each tank, 75-gallon tank, gets 200 eggs, and the students just get to learn some responsibility of how to clean the tank, how to feed the fish, how to monitor the fish, right, how to test the pH levels and temperature levels. We've even got like some some telemetry set up with some, cloud-based sensors that we can, check the pH levels, the amount of light the tank's getting, and
Yeah,
temperature, and then the kids get really excited to release them. So we
that's cool.
actually, yeah, CTU has a youth engagement coordinator that kind of runs that program alongside a Trout in the Classroom
Yeah, yeah.
volunteer that runs it. Yeah.
And they get probably a basic curriculum with it for the teacher, et
Oh yeah,
cetera,
for
and all
sure. Yeah,
that.
like, yep,
Really
there's some
cool.
training materials. It's a really unique opportunity. It's a lot of fun just to, teach some inner city kids about, hey, this is,
There's more in the river than
there's
old
more in the river.
garbage.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of one of our flagship programs, and then some of the other things we've been focusing on is like we worked with a consultant a few years ago to develop what we call the Lifetime Angling Access Guide. So as there's construction and, projects going on along the riverbanks, like we can provide that to them to say, here's how you create, fish habitat in the river to make the, fish population more sustainable. Here's how you create access for children and, people with disabilities, right? This is where we should have fishing access points. So we've been partnering with developers here throughout the city to kind of get them smart on that.
Yeah.
And as we, go through the, hundreds of revitalization projects along the rivers, it's important to include fishing in that. We have, fishers, kayakers, and surfers here in the city of Denver that like to share the river. So we just want to make sure that anglers' voices are heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then one of the most challenging things that we do is we fight some of the industrial polluters here in Denver for release of chemicals such as benzene and PFAS into the river. So those are like
Yep.
benzene is a petroleum product. PFAS, everyone's heard of it. It's a forever chemical, typically used in like waterproofing, materials for rain jackets or Teflon pans, things of that nature. And we recently just partnered with Earth Justice. So Earth Justice provides like pro bono legal counsel to conservation organizations.
Hmm.
And so they're representing us in an administrative hearing request to essentially challenge a water discharge permit that Colorado Department of Public Health and the Environment issued to one of the industrial polluters here in Denver. And we're trying to make some of the discharge limits more restrictive than, what the EPA standards were to, make it safer for us to recreate around the river. Yeah.
That's very cool. So
yeah.
you're president of the club. How did you get interested in this? I mean, what drove you?
It's super interesting. My buddy that I went to college with in West Virginia, him and his dad got me into fly fishing, and his dad was like, "Hey, if you're a new angler, you should really look into Trout Unlimited so you meet some people and learn." And so I had joined when I first moved to Colorado, the Cutthroat chapter when I was living in the southern part of the city in Littleton, and didn't really do too much with that chapter. And then we relocated to the city and walked into a fly shop, started talking to some of the guys like, "Hey, you were a Denver Trout Unlimited member?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm not, but I'll switch." So I switched over and volunteered at Carp Slam 2 years ago,
Okay.
and just got super interested in it. And then I was invited to be a board member and started running the Trout in the Classroom program. And we had elections a cycle coming up, and I was like, "Hey, I think I want to give this a shot. I got some good ideas that I think were good, and I'm pretty dedicated and passionate, and I like to stay busy." So we, went through the process, and then in February, I became the president. So it's it's a title, but you're just leading the chapter and making sure we're staying on task. It's more of an administrative duties to keep us focused.
We got to get you some Hall 24 shirts. Make Denver Creeks great again.
I love it. So yeah,
awesome.
it's been a super unique and like welcoming experience. The fishing community in Denver is amazing, super tight knit. A lot of guys with years of experience, guys and gals that you can learn from. So I'm just happy to be a part of it and represent DTU.
You've obviously met a ton of people through TU. I mean, I was a similar nature. I was going through some learning curves and joined my TU. It was awesome. And so I'm a huge proponent of TU. I just think it's great. You meet so many people, and it's really quick to notice like who's active and who's just kind of there, right?
Yeah.
And both have their parts.
It's interesting. It's like certain chapters have more resources than others. So
Well, we have a pretty good chapter here in Park City, Utah. I think it's a bunch of older retired men, to be honest with you, and they got tons of time. So we got classes for tying and casting and yada yada, and they're like, "Oh, I'll take you out on the reservoir." It's really cool.
That's super interesting that you mentioned that, right? Because like traditionally, Trout Unlimited has been older, you know, people,
Yeah.
and now we're getting into this cycle where those people are either retiring, not being involved, or they're no longer here, and it's like, well, how do you maintain Trout Unlimited and continue with the mission? You got to recruit a younger,
Hmm.
more diverse group of people to get involved to kind of carry on the legacy, and I think our chapter does a pretty good job. Like we're also lucky, right? We're in a highly populated urban,
Right,
city.
right.
So there's more people to choose from, to volunteer when you're, protecting a mountain stream in a town of, you know, 10,000 people. You don't
Yeah.
really have that many
But,
people screaming to
but
volunteer.
what
It's a
you
little bit
do
harder.
have that's interesting is, one guy in the fishing community finds out and it spreads like wildfire,
It definitely
right?
does. Yeah,
Because
yeah,
everybody kind of knows each other in some way, shape, or form. So
yeah,
I think there's benefits of both,
for sure.
to be applied. And the
Yeah,
volunteer is awesome, dude. Some of it I never thought I'd do and be like, that's cool and all, but I got other things to do. But like we go
yeah,
plant willows along creek
yeah,
beds to, maintain creek bed edges. We've
yeah,
done fish counts in
yeah,
areas. The electroshocking stuff is amazing. Like you see these
yeah,
fish come up and you're just like, what? I had no idea
yeah.
that was
There's
in
that
that
many fish
creek,
there. Yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah,
wow. Yeah. So it's really cool. Some of the stuff. And
yeah.
of course we do all kinds of outings too.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Or you got to have a mix of conservation and fun, right? Like if you're
yeah,
recruiting new members, like what's in it for me? Like, yeah, the conservation stuff is our main focus, but we got to have some fun activities so that
that's
people
right.
get interested, and we kind of lure them in and suck them in to the conservation piece.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
all about you conserve fish and drink beer. It's
Yeah,
just like perfect
there you go.
combination.
Exactly.
Well, that's
That's
cool,
a good one.
man. Really cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning us in on that. Let's talk
Yeah.
about the Carp Slam. You were getting ready to take off. I think it was last September
Yeah,
to
so
do
it was
one.
yeah, I think it was like September 16th is when we did it last year, and it was awesome. It was my first Carp Slam as a competitor. The first year I just volunteered as like kind of a rover and went around, took pictures, helped measure fish, and things of that nature. And that was pretty cool. But like I got to compete this year as a competitor, and it was a tough Carp Slam. Like the flows were a little bit low, water was a little murky. It was pretty
Hmm.
warm outside, so I think I walked 12 miles and caught one fish,
Uh-oh.
and I lost one fish, and it was my team. We got fourth place. We missed the biggest fish by a quarter of an inch, so
Oh,
that one hurt.
heartbreaker.
Well,
Heartbreaker. Because you're
one
probably in there going, dude, this is a good fish. Like,
it
this
was
could
just
do it.
28 and 3/4 inches, man. I was
Oh,
like, and then I get back, I'm like, oh, I got this, and then buddy Daryl's like, nah, you
you
missed it
missed
by a
it.
quarter inch, so
Oh, so it was the one you landed was the
yeah.
big one.
It was, yeah,
Uh,
until he got his 29 inch, so I'm coming back for
oh.
him this year.
So tell us
So
a little bit about like where is the slam? Is it open rivers or waters, or is it one
yes,
particular water? And
yep,
then let's talk about how the teams are set up and why.
yeah, yeah. So like, so the Carp Slam is our largest fundraiser for Denver Trout Unlimited, so that we can do everything that we do in the city, right? So like, that's our flagship kind of engagement activity or tournament. And so it'll be the 18th year this year. Last year we raised $38,000, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um, I actually broke the record and raised $9,600. It was pretty cool. My company had like a matching thing, and I was able to
Oh,
get a
that's
bunch of money from
awesome.
my company to raise that much. So like, it's a fundraising tournament first, right? And
Yeah.
so it's a pro am tournament. So you have pros, 15 pros, 15 amateurs that are randomly paired up, and then we split our river, the Denver South Platte, from down in the south. I think at Orchard Avenue down in the south part of the city is the southern cutoff, and then the downstream or north side is up to 120th Avenue, and we split them up into beats. And so
Okay.
the night before the tournament, we call a draw party, and we put all the amateurs, we call them slamateurs, right? The slamateurs names and the pros names in a bucket, and then we randomly assign them to each other. And then after we get the teams together, then we randomly draw beats. So you have a morning beat that you fish, and then an afternoon beat, and you kind of rotate. So an amateur will fish, and then the pro can't fish while the am is fishing, so it's more of like the pro coaching the am. So if someone's
Okay.
new to carp
Yeah, yeah,
carp
yeah.
fishing, it's kind of like you have
But
like a
they
kind
could
of a
be
guided
there. They can't
experience.
fish,
They
but
can
they
be
could be
there.
there.
Yeah, they can be there. They can walk down the bank, spot fish, give some tactics, techniques on how to get the fish in the net. And you rotate. I think it's like 2 half-hour sessions in the morning, followed by an hour session Then we break for lunch, so lunch is provided for us, and then after the lunch, you do the afternoon beat. We finish up at about 5. We go back in. We have a scorekeeper tracking everything too. So each
Okay.
team has a controller, right, that's with them. So when you catch the fish, they make sure it's legally hooked, right, in the mouth. Make sure that the fish is measured. Make sure the pro or the am, whoever was supposed to catch the fish, catches it, and they're within boundaries, and they report that back to the headquarters. And then, after we finish up the tournament, we go back to we have a partnership with River North Brewery, and they brew us a special beer for this. So we had the Golden
Nice.
Ghost Lager last year, 2 years ago, as an IPA. It's really good beer. And we have the after party there where we, read out the scores and tell who won. And one of the cool parts about it is it's a fundraising tournament, but we partnered this year with Anglers All, the fly shop here in Littleton and Denver, and then Orvis here as well. And the amount of cool swag that we get,
It's
you're
through the
getting
roof.
Able reels, Cheeky, Orvis, Helios, right? Fish pond packs, like all kinds of awesome swag. And so we have categories for, largest exotic fish and what we call exotics or non-carp species. So walleye, catfish, trout, bass.
Right.
We have prizes for that, prizes for first, second, and third place, prizes for top 3 fundraisers. We have a raffle, good beer, good food. It's a great time. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're not an angler, could you attend and just
Yeah.
party
So,
and
so yeah,
whatnot?
yeah. We have the open kind of invites to come check out the beat draw and then the after party. Yes,
Yeah.
for sure. And
Okay.
then if you come to observe the tournament, you can observe. The cool thing is there's a trail that runs the entire length of the river. It's like a
Okay.
paved trail if you want to ride bikes and kind of check on things. We just kind of ask people to give the anglers a little
Stay
bit of
back a
space
little
because
bit. Yeah.
carp get
Tight.
pretty spooky. Yeah,
Yeah.
carp are pretty spooky and challenging fish to catch. So
Now, do you ask for a donation if you attend any of the parties and things
so
like
now
that?
yeah, like any
We
beer
ask, but
that's yeah, so any beer that's the Carp Slam specific beer. We have a partnership with River North. They brew that beer especially. So any purchased beer that's specific for
proceeds
Carp
go to
Slam,
you.
they send some of the proceeds to us. So that's a pretty cool thing. And then you don't have to compete to donate. You can donate to other anglers that are competing. You can just donate to Carp
Yeah.
Slam or Denver Trout Unlimited. So yeah, it's you
That's
know,
cool.
we're excited this year to raise some funds for some, legal cost and hiring some, scientists to give professional opinions for this
Yeah.
administrative hearing we have coming up to protect the river. So that's kind of our flagship conservation project for the slam this year. So
I
we
love it.
raised 38 grand last year. Hopefully we can maybe do 50 this year.
You got to do one of those like you do for the Super Bowl, the board where it's like amateur lengths up here and pro lengths down here, and then people buy squares for
Oh, you can buy a square.
$5.
Yeah.
We
start
should.
start
That would
betting
be
on the slam.
awesome, right? Right.
Yeah.
Everybody just starts buying slams.
Yeah. Get some side bets
Right,
going.
right. You got like a coin flip after the
Yeah.
pool of tags and stuff. That would be super
We'll
fun,
just
man.
we'll send the pro and am list once we solidify it to Vegas, and they can come up with some odds for us.
That's right, right. That's too awesome.
Yeah,
So that's awesome. So you did pretty good last year. You had some fun. Weather seemed like it was okay, other than the clarity and
yeah.
whatnot. This year, what did you guys learn last year that you maybe changed for this year?
I think one of the things we're looking at, we haven't decided yet, is like we have amateurs that have never fished for carp sometimes, and having that 30-minute window in the beginning, right, where it's
Mhm.
just 30 minutes amateur, 30-minute pro. They don't really get enough time with the pro to kind of figure things out. So we were thinking about maybe extending the amateurs' time so that the pro can help them a little bit better. Um, that's that's one of the things. And then the fundraising piece, right? We used to be minimum three. You had to hit a minimum of $350 as an amateur, and it was the first amateurs that sign up for Carp Slam. They get a fundraising page, and once you raise $350, we locked you in for a guaranteed spot um, as an amateur. This year, we want to make it more about fundraising. So instead of just raising a minimum of 350, it's going to be the first 14 amateurs that sign up for the tournament and raise the most money by September 1st. So we'll give like a 2-week cutoff to say, all right, hey, you solidified your spot as an amateur or slamateur in Carp Slam 18. Here's the dates it's taking place. We already have that published, but then, here you go. You got your spot. So if you're one of the top 14 amateur fundraisers by September 1st, um,
You're
yeah,
guaranteed.
you're guaranteed a spot. right? I would say if you want to sign up, minimum experience you need to have is understanding fly fishing and being able to use a fly rod and bring a 6 or 7 weight rod.
Nah, just bring the 3-weight and go for it.
No, yeah, you're gonna lose that fish and lose that rod.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Well,
So
cool. So if somebody wants to apply to be in the Carp Slam, etc., just go to carpslam.org.
Yeah. Let me pull it up real quick, and then I can show you kind of exactly where to go. But carpslam.org is the website that you would go to. And let me share right now. Let me not close the tab with us in the video because that would be that would be good. All right, so we'll do screen. Hold on one second. I just gotta act. Of course, I didn't open system settings and allow sharing. All right, there we go. Sweet. Later. All right, cool. Can you see it?
It's coming up right now. All right, perfect.
All right, yeah. So we got carpslam.org. Super easy website to remember. The tournament's gonna be Saturday, September 14th, 2024, and it's sponsored by Anglers All. As you can see here. So here we go. You click this link here. Do you see the pretty sick logo that we got? Like,
yes,
I'm really
dude,
excited about that.
Thing.
Like, yeah, we had Andrew Gepelt is one of an artist here, and we got him to hook us up with this bad octopus holding a carp. So we're super excited about that.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, if you're just listening, there's a like super sick octopus holding a carp, like a I don't know. It's your standard photo, right? Like,
yeah, it's just an octopus presenting the fish, you know.
Right. It's rad. It's really
and his hands are wet.
It's like the gripping grin with the octopus.
Yeah. And so we'll have merch available too. So if you guys keep checking carpslam.org, closer to the tournament time, we'll have hats and shirts available.
Okay, cool.
Our VP Patrick runs a blog called Urban Anglers USA, and so he's in charge of doing all the hats and shirts. And there'll be a link on this webpage. It'll redirect you to his shop where you can buy them.
Gotcha.
But yeah, if you click this link here, sign up for Carp Slam 18, then you'll scroll again and actually click the photo on the second link. It'll take you to this fundraising page. And here at the fundraising page, it's pretty cool. You can just click sign up right here on the side, and then you'll create a page. It'll create a fundraising page for you to say you want to enter Carp Slam as a amateur. And right now, we've raised in 24 hours, raised $1,000, $1,045, and we've got 3, 6, 9 anglers signed up to fundraise and compete to get a spot in Carp Slam.
Okay.
And we have 2 ladies, which I'm pumped about. Like, we
typically
have one lady angler. So if we can get more ladies, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, that'd be really cool
this year. So you can see, like, some people haven't raised anything yet. Some people have, raised 375 at the top, but these numbers will continue to shoot up as they compete to raise the most money.
Very cool. And then let's do this. So there's a lot of guys on the podcast that listen, etc., and they're like, "Oh, this is awesome, but I don't live in Denver. I don't have any plans on competing, but I'd love to donate."
Mm-hmm.
How do they donate? They just go to the website? Is there a donation?
Yeah, I'll share. Yep. Yeah, so you can go back here, and we'll show you this one. So if you just go back to this page, you can click donate, right?
Oh, okay.
And you can just do a random donation of amount that you want to do, or you can make it a monthly donation if you want, and all proceeds go to our work here at Denver Trout Unlimited. Or you can select an angler that you want to directly donate to. So if I was to donate
sponsor someone or something kind of thing.
Yeah, well, AJ's the first guy up. AJ's a sick tattoo artist here in Denver. He owns a shop. He actually did some carp work on me. But you can just click his page and donate directly to him right here.
Well, maybe I sponsor AJ. I'll sponsor AJ. He can help me out with another cockroach tattoo.
I'm not showing favoritism. AJ is a great guy, but he was the first name I just clicked. It's alphabetical.
That's all right, man. He's got a good story. Hey, you win some, you lose some. No, that's great. Well, let's get him taken care of. And then I would say, hey, look, if you're looking to donate, 2 things. One, go to the page, donate. It's really easy. The second one is, like you said, don't forget about your employers. A lot of employers or other groups they'll match. So, double, you donate $25, turns into 50 real quick. That's like how things add up and, really take off. So, take advantage of that, guys.
There's like most employers, like especially big tech companies, they use something called bright funds, and they want to write off money at the end of the year and encourage their employees to volunteer. So I was able last year to get about $5,600 through bright funds. And
Yeah,
essentially it's like a link where you can track volunteer hours, or your company gives you free money to donate, and you just search for the nonprofit you want to donate to, and it's pretty cool. It's got a whole list of all registered nonprofits in the US, and
that's
go
really
to
cool.
Denver Trout Unlimited and click that you want to
Click.
donate some money for Carp Slam. Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. Get
Yep.
engaged in the groups too. That's always awesome. If you're not involved in TU, just go to the TU website,
Yeah.
troutunlimited.com or .org, and
Mhm.
it's awesome. There's lots of stuff to do, guys. And then
Yeah,
there's
you get a free first year membership too when you sign up as a Trout Unlimited member.
and then on top of that, there's like what you maybe don't understand is there a plethora of resources. I mean, there's
Oh yeah,
blog articles, there's teaching, there's yada. I mean, you just go down the list. It's really a great organization from a conservation standpoint and learning
for sure.
standpoint. So,
Yeah.
well, cool. You're still slamming and jamming on your own fishing, etc.
Mhm.
these days. Your Instagram page is Midnight Ceviche. If you guys want to follow Nick, anything else you want to add for today, Nick?
No, man, I'm super excited to come on the podcast. Tell everyone about the cool fishery we have here in the South Platte. I think Fly Lords ranked us like top 5 for urban fishing spots in Denver. So yeah,
We'll have to go
I like
bust
to
some
share that.
kneecaps and get you up there in number one, man.
Yeah, you got to come when it's not January, February. Come during the
That's
nice
right. That's
the
right.
nice time, and we'll take you out carping. But no, we really appreciate you giving us this public space to kind of talk about our work and get the word out about Carp Slam and the efforts that we're focused in.
For sure.
I think this year will be probably one of the biggest Carp Slams, and every year we look forward to it. We just gotta hope and pray the weather sticks with us, which September is typically pretty good and dry
Yeah.
here in Colorado.
September is a good time of year for it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Well, cool, man. I'm looking forward to hearing what's going on. I might try and throw my name in the hat and get out there and
Hey,
do some of that too. So
you've got
we'll
some
see.
carp to fish right in the Salt Lake area,
That's
so it
right. There's some
should be hard
urban
to
stuff here
practice.
I can practice on.
Yeah.
Hop a few fences and things like that, maybe. But no, I'm not hopping fences. Like, sorry.
I didn't see that sign.
But yeah, man, I love the urban fishing. It's fun, and this is
Yeah.
totally different than trout fishing, guys. It's something that's new, and boy, when you start urban fishing for carp, it's for me one of those fun things where anywhere you go after that point, you're like, oh, but there's carp in there.
100%.
It's so
Yeah.
wild. Like, you go down to Dallas and you're like, oh, there's bright carp in there.
Yeah.
So it's super fun.
And there's only a
enjoy
few
yourselves.
weirdos that like to fish for them, so that's the best part. Is
That's right,
you can find them in every city, and typically they're 5 minutes away from your house.
That's right. Yeah. Well, I'll tell
Yeah.
you this: you catch a carp in an urban environment, send me a note. Just says something like donkey 29 inches.
There you go. there you go. Just don't use the 3-weight.
That's right. Exactly. All right, Nick. Good to have you on the show.
Appreciate it, Christian.
And we'll catch you guys next week. This is a bonus episode for you on the Denver Carp Slam. We'll talk to you soon. Fly Fishing Insider Podcast is teamed up with Fly Fish Finder app to revolutionize your fishing adventures. Save time and unlock the ultimate experience with access to 55,000 trout streams, precise bridge data, thousands of trails, and detailed species locations. Elevate your angling with real-time maps, top camping spots, and connect with local fly shops for expert tips. This is only a little bit of what is available on the app. Discover all of it on the Fly Fish Finder app, another tool for getting better at catching fish anytime, anywhere, and for any species.